Well, hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Formula 1 24 Career Mode, and today we're heading over to Spanish Lawn with absolutely torrentious weather poorly down in the qualifying section. There's going to be some good time about the 20, but I'd like to mention about what happened in the last episode, the lots of Canada Lawn which we are watching right now, with a little highlight of what went down with Hamilton made a mistake with Charles Leclerc where he spun out, unfortunately for him, and of course with me and my teammate George Russell when we came together and went straight into the war. We were too stubborn to back out. That was a very controversial moment, and of course I had my already with my performance it looked like being the second back tart with Aston Martin taking that number 1 spot. So we need to try to do something good as we go on last Barcelona, which I do tend to have a good time out there. We had a little mistake. We began our third run. We about to finish off our third run. Hopefully we can recover and get, get a really good place as we can start. Our position is always be P5. We got P5, but we're doing our second run with more improvement time, which is obviously very positive. We can see there's more better traction with the car as we do multiple runs, which is obviously really solid as we are now about to top the line. We've taken a provisional pole, but George Russell has snatched it up me, but I still got another chance. Can I get a pole position? Beat George Russell. We're waiting for the result to be coming out, and we got a pole position. Absolutely fantastic. We've got a pole position. We're now on the pole with George Russell second place and Lando Norris in third place. We are going to have a good time around the Spanish lawn plane.
Welcome along, everyone, to sunny Spain, specifically to the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya. So many great moments in Formula One history have been written at this very track over the years, including Michael Schumacher's first win for Ferrari back in '96. That win was in the rain. We might have better weather here today, but we're just as overjoyed to be at the Spanish Grand Prix. It's an updated track at Catalunya, and the popular opinion in the paddock is that we never wanted the chicane in the first place. That's now been gone, the final corner is much faster, and at 2.9 miles and 14 turns, we await the Spanish Grand Prix. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. Daniel lines up on pole position, just ahead of George Russell, who starts this event from P2. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Norris, Hamilton, Leclerc, Gasly, Stroll, Tsunoda, Oscar Piastri, Verstappen, Sainz, Ocon, Magnussen, Behrman, Iwasa, Hulkenberg, Fittipaldi, Perez, Joe, and Frederick Vesti. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track. And alongside me for this afternoon's commentary, Naomi Schiff. Good afternoon, Gnomes. I know what we've got to do before the start of today's race, but what about our driver? What do the final hours look like for them?
Well, every driver certainly has their own way of preparing themselves before a race. But I can tell you that pre-race rituals are a real thing. When I was in go-karting, I used to touch every wheel in a specific sequence before I got into the kart. And then I stepped up to cars and had a specific set of fireproof base layers just for race day. So watch the drivers when they're on the grid. Some may be sitting on the floor and isolating, others may be up to other things that they do. But these little things really help their minds get ready for the race.
As we now get ready to back on to our Spanish lawn plane of talk with maybe on a pole position, we've got time to do the job. We're starting on stop to medium. I was thinking maybe I can do medium to hard to know how much I love to push the car to absolute limit. But I thought to myself, let's be clever with it, doing soft, and then we have a chance to maybe change the strategy and doing a hard tire. We have to have to wait and find out, see how they later to go as we line up to the race now. Of course, completing 1-2 from Mercedes for the third time It's going to be an exciting start. We are waiting for the 5 on the line. And of course, Jordan Russell needs a good start to beat me. And we are waiting for the light to go out now with me, who had the fantastic start. Jordan Russell did not have a good start at Lando Norris, has taken the starting play, and we've got Charles Leclerc, who's challenging George side by side, joining turn 1 on the main in the lead. Charles made a mistake. I think went a little bit too deep. He lost the play down to P4 with Jordan Russell, who also had lost his play in the beginning, has stayed in P3 now with Lando Norris. Move up to P2. George had a chance to try to get it done. We're looking on board with Kevin Magnussen, who is challenging, watching at the Piat with Esteban Ocon, with Piat of course being down out of point, and where his teammate got the chance to, for the win. Piat needs to be higher try and help with McLaren in the construction championship. They are the one who close to mistake there, so we try to add in our power to make sure we stay ahead of the McLaren with George Russell, who of course need to try to get low, but with what happened in Canada, I know George is thinking in his head he does not want me to get away with everything, so George will challenge really hard with Lando Norris, who also will challenge hard, really hard, despite, at the market being one of the fastest cars right now. McLaren are looking more quick as we are on board with George watching Lando Norris. It's going to become 3 wide into turn 1. Will that be the case? It looks like it is. But we stayed in the middle. George Russell back down just before the turn 1, and Lando Norris has lost his place to George Russell, who had a good exit, beaten Lando. And don't forget, I did also have a little elbow out against Lando Norris. To be fair, I've been watching a replay on George Russell, who had a bad start. That is the evidence how bad the start was. He needed a lot to play with Ferrari on the left hand side. But you can see Ferrari went too deep, so that of course costed Leclerc chance of being the P3. That's what had happened, and we are now in lap 4. With me, are finding more with staying there. We managed to slip though, and it's 3 wide. It's in turn 2. We managed to defend leading well. We stayed ahead. Bandor, Lando Norris side by side with George Russell. There's so much fighting going on. I'm trying to keep up to all of the chaos here with George Russell staying ahead. Yes, he does. Lando Norris still got chance. No, he doesn't. Stays behind George Russell, and we now coming to the end of lap 4. Going into lap 5, George got a chance here on the left. He just drove from the move and looks like he got himself ahead. But am I going to brake and late, and looks like I'm real at that brake leading late. Elbow out to George Russell, forcing him to slow down on low rather than for him to go off, yet to slow down, which allowed Norris to go low and get up the P2. So George Russell needs to think about how to attack me, because I'm going to be very annoying. I'm going to do everything in my power to put my car in a very unusual spot and preventing anybody from making a move. I'm not scared of giving elbow. I have no problem doing that whatsoever. We've got a challenge on now with Lando Norris on the left hand side, just like George Russell is going to be able to make the move done. It looks like he doesn't know. He made the contact. Me and Lando had made the contact. Lando's now in the lead, and he's now leading the Spanish long plan with George Russell, who got Charles Leclerc side by side with me. Now, look, the P2 because I made the contact with Lando. And me judging the caller and Lando. He did well for defending. He touched the court. And I did respect that, and he beat me to it, and that's how you can beat me and allow another now to start running by, which is unfortunate. I'm feeling really, tough on the car component, but the car component seems to be slower, so the car T-pops and land up make no sense. And we've got George Russell on the right side. He's now overtaking me, and I'm going to try braking late, but did not happen as George is now up the P2, and it's likely to run away. Well, alarm just started nodding a little bit, had to jump over the lap 10. 4 seconds ahead. George Russell, it's 4 seconds ahead. I can't complete that. I definitely got something wrong with the car, and right now I completed for the podium for that 3rd place. So Charles Leclerc on the lap, he got the move, but we still side by side. I'm trying to keep close to Charles Leclerc, making sure he does not overtake me. We're still going lower, all the way to the final corner, likely to be the case as we try to keep it civil, giving each other some space so they don't come together. So that'll be really unfortunate for us, especially with me trying to get that P3 and stay ahead of Lewis Hamilton. Hamilton is the challenger for the World Championship as he is currently leading with Lando Norris and will be leading after this long plan. And Charles Leclerc done ahead, but I've managed to break lane. I keep myself ahead of Charles Leclerc and he now got Pierre Gasly on the right side challenging Charles Leclerc with Hamilton in the sixth place, watching everything unfolding with Lance Stroll down P7, who did have a good long plan back in Canada. He's done a fantastic job until of course overtaking Lance Stroll, and he had to really took the door down there. But the fight still continues between both of them. I need to take the advantage of this opportunity to actually start running away quickly. The more they fight, there's more time for me to start spacing out the gap. But Pierre Gasly now up to P4. He's done a fantastic job defending, fighting, doing everything he can to beat Charles Leclerc. But now in lap 13, going to lap 14 now, I've decided to come in and put the medium tyre on and see what I can do with that medium tyre and try and run away. But we have a slow stop, but really I've been held up because I can't get out of the right and made contact with no other drivers, but I managed to get out ahead of Lewis Hamilton, which is the take I needed. Because if Hamilton stays ahead of me, I'm in a lot of trouble to win championship. Hamilton can run away quickly with maybe 2 points ahead of me, or maybe more than that, depending on where he's doing the finish. But that didn't happen, so I stayed ahead of Hamilton, which is good. But as we all know, Hamilton is on his chance, on his he's persuading his chance for the World Championship is 8. So he obviously wanted to do everything in his power to make it happen and got George Russell in along with Lando Norris, who had time in, but now come out saying the same position basically. Lando is leading the Spanish long punt with Matt Verstappen in second place, Piastri in third place, but that not doing the same like that for long. But if they want to make sure they finish higher in the position, they don't have to push really, really hard for that to work out for them, as we now in the lap 17. Russell in the lead, and Lando another second place with 13-14 seconds ahead. No time for me to make a comeback to them at all. But with me in the third place, Hamilton is getting closer now. Hamilton don't try and make a move right now. As you can see on the inside line, he don't know. We have to try keep it civil like I did with Charles Leclerc. But Hamilton making it really hard for myself because he has to go in a little bit slower than I am. And Hamilton still managed to get on way. And we got fight with Lando Russell, who's been pretty much shopping back and forth throughout the whole long punt after the pit stop, and I now got the DRS on Lewis Hamilton. I'm going to try to get back that Pete that had Hamilton sweep me, try to stop me from happening. I stayed committed. I was too stubborn to back up. I'm trying to make the missing overtake, and it paid off. Nothing bad had happened as long Hamilton tried to force me onto the back like he did with no spur. If you remember that back in 2016, that didn't happen. Thank God for that, for that case not to happen anyway. And I now done into lap 20. Still got pressure from basically Lewis Hamilton. Still to do something. We got Pierre Gasly who's watching everything unfolding. He pretty much can't really do much about it at the time. Still side by side, Hamilton going in a bit wide. Gasly gone low. Pierre Gasly has gone up to P4. He managed to take the advantage of Hamilton. No mistake for going a little bit too wide. Gasly now got the chance for the podium, as I have to try to defend now more than Gasly, as Gasly now to go on the inside line. I'm breaking quite late to try to stay ahead of Pierre Gasly, and that worked out for me, thank God. We're going to try to do everything just stay ahead of Pierre Gasly, but we can't seem to really make it work out in lap 28. Hamilton is fighting Gasly. I'm feeling more pressure, but I have to be very careful without, making mistakes with the lock top, because the more pressure I get, the more I have to look back, try to make sure I'm even clear for the move, going to the toilet and everything. We have to make sure I don't lock top too much, but we just do the replay. We actually made the contact with Gasly, which we might have seen Gasly got the fan wind damage at some point. That is unfortunate for Gasly. You can see it right now, lap 29. There's more clear view. Gasly got a fan wind damage. Hamilton, fighting with me now. He can't do anything. I'm defending hard to Hamilton with Lando now overtaking Gasly up the P5 up the Piastri. He's got chance to get Peter Jack that we now entered the lap 30. We continue doing the same thing, trying to avoid slipstream, trying to speed Hamilton. But at this point, I can't do nothing as slow. Now done for the move on the inside. I had the brake lane, and I did it. I stayed ahead of Slow. I ended up botting Hamilton out. That allows Slow to take the advantage of the situation. But I stayed ahead of him, which is good. More fights have been going on. As you can see, the starter time in the standing. 34 seconds to the leader. 34 seconds as they are fighting more. They're shuffling back and forth, but despite their fighting, I can't catch up whatsoever. There's a clear side of schedule for my car, and Gatley locked up. Pierre Gatley locked up, nearly came together. The Charles Leclerc, they now side by side once again, but Charles Leclerc needs to clear Gatley quickly to Gatley. They don't schedule pretty much due to fan wind damage. Charles now don't do up to Peanut yet chase down Matt Verstappen as we now enter the lap 32. We've now got both Aston Martin has successfully overtaken me, and one of them going to take that third place. It looked like Joyce been launched lower, taking third place. Hamilton down P4, me in P5. I can't do nothing. There's no pace right there to beat both Aston Martin, unfortunately, but we Russell on board in the final lap. George Russell had now taken the lead once again and leading the final lap. He needs to do everything in his power to hold on that final lap and that final position on the P1. I've taught me looking back where I finally crossed the line to begin my final lap. Both Aston Martin fighting Hamilton had overtaken slower. Piastri to the try to everything, try to overtake me, made the contact and went off the track. If the contact has been made, I can't exactly avoid it too much. If I continue where I was going with the contact, I'll pretty much at a spin out, but I had to take the avoiding that action, which we see in a replay. We can see there. Bit of a contact being made right there, where Piastri, of course, was very tight. I tried to close on to him, and Piastri made the contact, but luckily I did not get a penalty for crawler tactic or exceed the track limit, which is good. We know that what I did wasn't exactly illegal. But we now come over to the final corner. Russell win! The Spanish long plane allowed another in second place. What a long plane for these two. They've been battling really hard. But we're now on Hamilton, who have not yet gone past the halfway line, which is now had happened. Piastri now on the move on the inside line. We have to try to hold him back, which we did successfully. We're staying in P5 with Hamilton. I pretty much going to finish P3 with Landlord joining P4. It's been very weird long time. We've going back to last season where we had that disqualification. This season, no disqualification, thank God for that. We did P5 better than nothing, to be honest. But from a poor position down to P5, that's embarrassing. We need to do something different now. But, you know, the case of the component, something wrong with it, I'm guaranteeing it. But we've gone straight over to the Silverstone long plan as we are, of course, making it too late episode special. Pretty much always been like that all the way to the end of the season, as we can see the Lido Lando, who's still in the P1 Russell, second place with 14 points behind. Mercedes now return back to the top in the construction with 4 points ahead of the McLaren. And of course, we're beginning our 25 now, and we have to drop the rain happening in the long point on Sunday. We're going to have a rain. It's likely to be raining and then turn into dry. So hopefully the rain is not going to be alive for a long time, because that will show me that I'm now going to begin my Tuesday first run. Now I need to do everything to make sure I get back on that pole position. Now balancing out the field has gone to Aston Martin. Now look, the part that they're now going to be second back top, pretty much with me being on the top of the performance team, which is good. Hopefully in my home long point we can do something special. That'll be, very good for me to want to try to redeem everything. We've not been on a podium for ages right now. We're on a pole position right now. That's incredible. We've got time to be on a pole and stay, provisional pole right now. We have to try and to improve the time. But unfortunately, Delta time has not been quite good. My time not been quite tight. I made a little mistake, like a little snap on the rear. That is unfortunate. We've got George Russell who now to the go by, he's like behind me, and he unfortunately taken the pole. Russell had taken the pole that stuck with me in the second place. Now back to back mistakes on 1-2 Thunder with Piastri in third place. Wow.
You join us in the United Kingdom today, or Great Britain as it's alternatively known. Well, it's certainly a great day today as we welcome you to one of the crown jewels of British sports, a track of speed, history and drama. It's Silverstone. It's the British Grand Prix. Silverstone circuit then is 3.6 miles long, has a total of 18 corners, and of course is no stranger to the rain. There won't be any DRS available in these conditions, but the Wellington and Hangar straights are still good opportunities to tuck into the slipstream and make a pass. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. What a qualifying yesterday for George Russell. He'll start today's race from pole position. And Daniel completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Oscar Piastri, Leclerc, Ocon, Stroll, Verstappen, Gasly, Iwasa, Sainz, Hulkenberg, Norris, Magnussen, Fittipaldi, Hamilton, Behrman, Joe, Vesti, Sonoda, and Sergio Perez completes our grid. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today? And alongside me today, a man small in stature but big on comments, Anthony Davidson. Hello. Now, we had great fun watching them win last time out. What a great victory it was. But can they carry that into today's race?
It's the important one, isn't it, Crofty? You've done it once, can you do it again? But, you know, if you start believing in yourself and the confidence starts to build, that inner confidence is what you need. And you can carry that through to future races, including this one, and you set that ball rolling. That's the critical thing that they're looking for here. And I believe if you've got that first race win or a win at any stage, it can start to roll with you in a good way.
We now didn't know that that talked about home at Northern, the Silverstone. The fourth car in lane, it goes from moderate lane into light, then it becomes cloudy, overcast kind of thing. But what I'm hoping it's not going to lap the entire 20 laps or right to the end, which is would be quite shocking if that was the case, because we want to make sure we'll be able to have a chance to get the stop or medium, so that will put me down lap 16, then the rest of the ending we can have the sling tire racing to the end, but we have to wait to see what should be the case as we all have now lined up to the waiting for the 5 and like with George Russell on the pole position. Can he get a good start? I like it now, well on way. Russell, fantastic start for himself, and for me as well. I had a good start down George. We managed to get away quite quickly, and Charles Leclerc and Piastri are side by side. Piastri, who had a fantastic twirling to himself, really good play. He now got the chance for the podium with his teammate Lando Norris, who down P12, who had a fantastic job in Spanish long plane, and of course he had a good qualifier here. In the Silverstone, we got Matt Verstappen, the lane master of fighting with Pierre Gasly, who has himself ahead of Matt in P7. Matt to try to do something if he can get overtaken World Tower, but Piastri now in the P3, holding it back. Charles Leclerc with Lando within P5. We can see slow teammate Hamilton, who's down P14, who's another driver who can do fantastic in the late of tour. We call it back to our toilet racing back in 2008, where he dominated that long plan with absolute fashion. We want to do similar thing with me and Russell, try to pull away and do something with that and get that 1-2 finish for the third time. We can see Sergio Perez, who's down P19 on Washington Batty, and Alabama battling with each other. Using Tsunoda, who's the last driver right now in P20. The three top are, Racing Bull look quite bad. They're not exactly the really good car. They would like them to be in. Of course, with Sergio Perez, who's down P19, his teammate don't want to P60, Fatty P17, while his teammate Matt is up in P8. There's a big difference with both drivers in each team. There's still differences. Of course, we can look at Lance Law within P5 doing really good star. We had him in P, top 5 within the 12 ball where his teammate Hamilton down P14. So they've done a lot of different during a while in the Silverstone 1 point with the tradie, but Russell now, of course, leading into lap 2 right now with the fastest lap. We know Russell, it's solid through the lane, he's showing that right now. We have to try to do the same thing, but that might not last long, as I would like it to be as we jump the lap on the Wellington straight with Esteban Ocon, who got Pierre Gasly, his former teammate, are challenging him. Pierre Gasly going down the outside, going into left field with Ocon, who might lose the plate, potentially to Max Verstappen. No, he doesn't. Max stays behind Esteban Ocon, but very nice move from Pierre Gasly going down the outside into the inside. Very good move from Jack, and no to play on that one was just absolutely fantastic. Matt, let's do something maybe similar if we can with obviously Ocon teammate Armwester, who's on P9, having really good long punch so far. He's quite impressive, and of course Albon, who used to be on William Armwester replacing him. People might think that might be a mistake if Armwester not so good as Alex Albon, but Armwester doing a really good job right now. He's actually close to his teammates, so that's very impressive. But Matt Verstappen is now just through the move on the left. He just got the overtake on Esteban Ocon during the outside. He pulled it off, but can they stick to it or not? Yes, he does. Matt stays ahead and overtake Esteban Ocon. Ocon now got his teammate Armwester. He's probably going to make a move on him eventually, and I don't know if Ocon is lodging with something as we know, jumping a little bit forward to lap 4, going back though. The Wellington straight Armwester, who got the chance to get the move done. Ocon lost 1 point lead section, doesn't matter. The arrow not even open. It's all about pure speed. Armwester on the inside, got the move. Ocon tried to defend. Ocon spun. The band spun. Ocon accidentally spun and hit right into Armwester side pod, underbody or something. And Ocon now got a fun win, damn it. That is so bad. So bad, but Esteban Ocon, it shows that Armwester probably better than Ocon, but of course that brought out further to safety car. But of course we're touching on the replay of what exactly had happened. So just before the left field, we can see Ocon might have accelerated a little bit too much. That caused him to spin a little bit and just ran straight into Armwester. But I know for sure if Armwester was not there, Ocon would have spun the 160, but because Armwester was there, it stopped it from happening. That it probably was the case that we blocked off at the Piazza immediately, of course, but it was not under braking. I moved way before the braking though, so that obviously would be fine to do. But I'm not sure. It put away 6.4 such an incredible speed right there. For sure, not sure he's showing why he's deserving the world champion. They see that he's going to challenge hard to try to get his third world champion. Piazza, who got the pay to get the move done on the, but he does not exactly get it pulled off at the left field now. He's far holding back with Torque Major, trying to turn down P4 land more P5. So we are pretty much having fun for that P2, which is solid to have, but I need to try to stay ahead of the Piazza, who might get the move done. He made the contact. Oh no, a bit up to the up the track. We managed to stave it. We just managed to stave it. We stayed on the track. We went up big lip and got back on the track. Damn God. We checked on replay what on earth had happened. So that is the tape right there. Piazza basically tapped me and we went around, unfortunately. We start, I'll be looking on replay again on my point of view where everything had unfolded. We managed to save it. We went left, hard to the right, like lightning between though. If you go hard on the left, you find yourself turning to the right. That is actually what the case. But we now come to the end of that safety car, which is with a lot safer to be honest, but we got ourselves down to P4 where Lord now up the trying to turn up to P2, not sure P1, but how did that happen? It took lady, but not sure it now began at the lap 10, still in the lead, he now leading of the single lap, and he got more chance to continue doing that for sure. With me, I'm trying to stay close to the land, though, trying to clear, but I am slogging to make it work. I've already replaced all my components before the qualifying section, but we should try to do something good with it, and I need to figure out how to get myself back on form. The form started to dip too much without Pierre Gasly getting close to me very easily. I need to figure out what is the cause of this whole real problem. Hopefully, when we have a little break from Silverstone going to Belgium, we might find our form coming back, who knows. But when looking at Iron Raptor, who's in P7, of course, he moved up due to what happened to Piastri, and of course, Ocon as well, so he, bit of a incident with Ocon and Piastri, fan wind damage, brought out 2 safety cars, basically, so that, were not really good helping for me, because we don't want to spend too much time on the safety car to my tire, so I'd have a little problem. But despite that, we have got to try and get the fastest lap. If we can pull it off, we try to stay close of the land lower and try to get the overtake done. I'll try to move and finding the space to make a move done as we dive down the inside, sending it and got myself up to the fantastic overtake that one. And I also forgot to mention Lando Norris, who now up the P9, he got the chance to make something work out for him. Lando trying to take the revenge at me, but he can't do it. He stayed behind in lap 11. Thank God, we're now in P3. Charles Leclerc pretty much doesn't run away anyway, so we do everything in our power to make sure we keep the P3. We have to learn everything we have learned in Spain. We have to transfer P3. We dropped out the P5 down to both Actimar to overtake me, but that should be the case here with Lando. So we try to do something to keep him behind and to stay on the podium and just be happy about it. That's all I need to do as we now heading towards the curb. Lando trying to get the move, he stayed back. He almost done the same thing what Hamilton did to Max Verstappen, but nothing happened. Thank God. We stayed the P3, Lando, P4, Russell, P1 still. When Charles Leclerc, P2, we literally replay in lap 12, so quite a long way back. We actually got Newton Tsunoda, who has a laptop that explains how Newton down to P20 despite him not being ahead of Piastri's old time at 1 point. But Newton Tsunoda is struggling, unlike his teammate Behrman, who's down up the P16. But that doesn't matter, they're not in point, so there's something we need to speak on their terms. They are struggling a little bit, but we got challenging from Lando, doing everything he can to try to get the overtake and work out. Because he can't seem to get it done. I'm doing everything in my power to play the car defensively and keeping slow behind as we coming low out of the medic and back onto the old handle slower. Got the chance here with his slipstream. He might get the move work as I'll try to give him a little squeeze, telling him to stay back. We got Pierre Jack, who's now getting involved on the inside line of Lando. He's now up to P4 Matt Verstappen, who's in P6 right now. Matt might get the chance for the podium as we all are very close with each other, and of course it's about the power, the speed of the car, and the driver who can do really well. I'm clearly not doing very well. We got Pierre Jack, who can actually get the overtake done quite easily. Slow can do the same, Matt can do the same. I'm just struggling in terms of the form, so I'm trying to reset my brain. It's just not working out. I'm totally sure to my normal thing that I always do is defending as much as I can, which I've pretty much been doing the entire long front anyway, but we actually got our tire started to heat it up a little bit, then where it started getting there, and that's because the rain had stopped efficiently. The rain no more, but the track itself still a little bit wet. Got some standing water there about, so there's a chance that we should come in eventually. But I'm actually planning to come in this lab. But I started to feel like, not the right time yet. We don't know the other being enabled. We have got no information from my engineer to stay. The rain is pretty much done. We should come in now and to get your right tire on that hadn't been taught to me. So I don't feel like I should come in quite yet. We got that in lap 20, try to get the move car to it. But Lounge Lower has gone ahead and overtaken Pierre Jack and he fantastic move. He just took it. Got the fastest he can, like the outside, and just beaten Gatley. Very nice move from Long Lord. That pretty much just such an overtake. In the long front, Jack, you were overtaking Ocon ages ago, Slow had overtaken Daphne. So there's been some good moves being made from this lawn point, which quite in practice only 2, but we still Jordan Ross, who's still doing a good job, leading out very, very far. Long, a little bit wide, but allowed Daphne to get back lower and challenge Lounge lower, side by side now. Matt Verstappen still impeached it, watching everything unfolding. I know Matt didn't tell, he's thinking, yeah, mistake it's going to happen, and I'm going to be there to power for it. And like, guys, that can be the case. Slow, stay the hell. We have to got Matt made to move, but we got engine failure. We got an engine failure. My component just went pop. I've got an engine failure just when Matt about to make a move, but I think he had not quite pulled it off. No, he hadn't. Still behind Jackley. And I'm now going to be out of my home lawn phone due to mechanical failure. Pretty much going to be engine failure. We have to find out what was the core. When we get to that point, we can find out what it was. So I'm out. Unfortunately, I'm out of the British lawn phone. We just had a horrible weekend in Spain, and now we've got another one in Silverstone that just starts to be me sometimes.
We've seen a brilliant display of the Russell hustle. It's George Russell who wins.
And that's 2 wins in a row now. It's the start of potentially something special, but they can't get ahead of themselves just yet. There's a long way to go.
As we see on the door, George Russell win the British lawn point with Charles that can land on Norrie, who gone third. He was out of point now up in Prix, though.
I'm sure there'll be plenty of celebrations
Doing
tonight
Luke
amongst
in
the
12
Mercedes
performance
team,
right there,
and
and
they
Russell
certainly
is
deserve
now
it.
3 points behind Lando. Me 58 points behind Lando. We've got a lot of work to do right now. We are hard like new this season. We've got to do everything to try and catch up. McLaren now 13 points behind Mercedes. But thanks to George Russell, active fantastic result, and Piastri wasn't contributed to that, due to him having an incident with me, with that little trash out right there, allows another man as the team afloat at the state close. But we are now ending the episode for the Belgian lawn plant next episode with the Netherlands lawn plant. So it's going to be 2 episodes, 2 like per episode to the end of the season. That is the plan now. So don't forget, please like and like my video. Do you very appreciate it, and peace out.